We look ahead to week 2 of the NFL season. An incredible week 1. We saw a lot of fun, a lot of high scoring games from my New Orleans Saints. Obviously, we saw the Chiefs look like a very dominant team. We saw the Eagles dominate as well. Is Jordan Love hurt? Will he play? Soon in the NFL? We have no idea. But regardless, we're going to predict week 2 here. Before we start, leave your comments down below, your favorite team. Let me know how you think your team will do this season. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. But first off, Thursday Night Football, which is tonight, the Miami Dolphins play the Buffalo Bills. I think when you look at the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills, they're in a pretty hard division in the AFC. They are two teams with championship aspirations. I think one of these teams need to commit to the rebuild, and the other of this team needs to capitalize on the talent that they have right now. And I think the Dolphins, that is it. I think the Dolphins definitely need to capitalize on the talent they have. They need to use Tua. They need to use Jalen Waddle. They need to use Tyreek Hill. They need to use this team and their defense, who actually is one of the most underrated in the league. They need to use all these players right now while they have them and while they can still pay everybody. But if they don't, then this golden hour that they do have will be gone. So give me the Miami Dolphins beating the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills at this point, I think they are. They need to commit to a rebuild. I think when it comes to salary cap, they're going to have to play Josh Allen in a year or two. They're going to have to start from scratch and figure out what their identity is. I think their coach needs to go as well. I think Sean McDermott is just not good enough, and I think he's been lingering around for a little bit too long. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And the Bills fans, let me know how y'all feel about that. Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers up against the LA Chargers. Chargers led by Harbaugh. New head coach there. He's coached outstanding last week. They had a big game against their rivals, the Raiders. Raiders obviously don't have a quarterback. Carolina probably don't either. But we're gonna have to wait and see what it looks like. Hopefully, the Chargers can beat the Carolina Panthers, being a Saints fan. So, and I don't think this is a no-brainer. I think this is an easy win for the Chargers. I think the game against the Carolina won't look as bad as they did against the Saints last week, but they won't look drastically better. Next up, we have two powerhouses when it comes to the NFC. Surprisingly, the Lions are a top team in the NFC, and their aspirations this season and their goal is strictly championship, and they can do it. This team, their defense, offense, definitely can do it. Can capitalize on an NFC that's very mid-table ready. But listen, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are definitely trying to be in control. They've won the NFC South for the past 3 years. They're definitely looking to get back to the playoffs, and led by Baker Mayfield by shock and surprise. But no, Baker's been doing his thing. I'm not gonna lie. He's been doing his thing. He's been doing his job. He's just got a new contract this past season, so hopefully they can get him going up in Detroit. But I think Detroit's going to win this game. This next game, the Jaguars and the Browns. Browns looked awful last week playing against that Dallas Cowboys team. I mean, Dallas Cowboys had two rookie offensive linemen, and they couldn't even get any pressure on Dak, which is, a joke. Also, Deshaun, I know, listen, RIP his father, but he did not look good at all this past week. Last week against the Cowboys. He needs to play drastically better if this team wants to be relevant at all this year. And I feel like he could. I think he could have a bounce back game. I don't believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they're just very mediocre, plain and simple. But that's my opinion to have, and I would love to see what you guys have to say about that. Next up, the Patriots play the Seattle Seahawks. Listen, led by Mike McDonald. New head coach up in Seattle. New head coach in New England with Gerard Mayo. Two guys who got their first win in their first weeks as a head coach. Hopefully they can, both lead their team to a win. I think the Patriots upsetting the Cincinnati Bengals yesterday or last week in Cincinnati was a shock. Can they keep that luck going? Can Gerard Mayo's team, after that win against the top team in the AFC, potentially a top team in the AFC, can they continue to capitalize onto that? You got the Giants versus the Commanders. Giants are one of the worst teams, if not the worst team in the NFL, and I expected the Commanders to beat this team. I love the Commanders. I think they played a really good Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, so that's why they lost. But I think Jaden Daniels can definitely get his feet going against the the New York Giants. Giants aren't good in my opinion. So I see the Commanders winning that game. Steelers, with their great defense, no points scored on offense, which is very alarming. But I think they should settle down. Justin Fields will find it. I know Russell Wilson is currently out, and I think he will be out for maybe a couple more weeks. But regardless, Justin Fields, he started in this league for a long time. He is going to have to be better. He's going to have to go get some touchdowns and get some wins. Next up, we have Monday Night Football. The Texans play the Chicago Bears. Bears look to get a touchdown finally with Caleb Williams. Obviously, that wasn't the case this past week with the rookie who did not look good, threw less than 50% from the completions. So he has to be drastically better. The Texans, they got a win last week. They look to get those championship aspirations off the ground because they can do that. With that team they have right now, they can be a top team in the NFL, plain and simple. The Raiders play the Ravens. Ravens need to stick to their game plan. They ran the ball against the Chiefs in the first drive with Derrick Henry. I think it was 8 times or something like that. And then he only got the ball 3 more times for the rest of the game. That cannot happen. He needs to be their number one guy. He needs to get the ball on every single possession. And I don't understand how that did not happen against the Chiefs. That's when they went away. They made Lamar do all the running, and that showed flaws in their team and their scheme. So give me the Ravens to win this game and blow out the Raiders. Saints, I got upset alert. I think the Saints are going to go into Dallas and beat the Dallas Cowboys. Saints look like a top team. I know it was against the Carolina Panthers, but as a Saints fan, on all cylinders, the Saints were clicking to perfection. So give me the Saints to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think, listen, Dallas, it is what it is. They played a pretty questionable team when it comes to the Browns as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Whoever wins this game, and depending on how they win it, will depict on what their season's going to look like, in my opinion. I think, no Jordan Love up in Green Bay, but their defense is still pretty good. I see Anthony Richardson running the ball really well, throwing the ball really well, and winning this game for the Indianapolis Colts. So, yeah, I think the Colts are going to beat the Green Bay Packers. Niners, listen, that clinic they showed the other night on Monday Night Football against the Jets, it will show why they will be one of the top teams in the NFL again. And we know the Vikings are without a quarterback. Sam Darnold, I know he played well against whoever they played against. Can't remember. But I don't think it's going to be good enough for that 49ers team. 49ers are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Jets are going to hopefully get a win against the Tennessee Titans. Titans did not look bad, but they will not beat the Jets. Jets, I have a chip on their shoulder. Rodgers knows what he needs to do now to win a football game in New York, and I think he will. So give me the Jets. I think the Cardinals, yes, they got a lot of points against Buffalo, up in Buffalo, but I don't think that happens again. I think the Rams go in there, take care of business because they're a more disciplined, skilled, and better football team. Looking at the Chiefs and the Bengals, I think the Bengals are going to sit on that sorrow slope, and they're going to lose another football game, and it's going to be a rough season for the Bengals fan. But I would say I think the Bengals are going to have a better second half of the season, and I think they're gonna get some more wins in the later half of the season. So give me the Chiefs to win this game, but the Bengals are going to adjust at one point. I think they have Carolina in Week 3, if I'm not mistaken. So that should be an easy win. Then on Monday Night Football, you have the Eagles versus the Atlanta Falcons, 2 teams who want to win their division and get into the playoffs. I think the Eagles, I think you give them this win without ease. With ease. I think the Falcons are an interesting football team, very unknown and inconsistent right now. They have a lot of talent there, new head coach, but can they do it? That's the question. I don't think I have an answer to because I don't think they can. But I think the Eagles definitely can do it. And with Saquon running the football like he is, I think he's going to be unstoppable against every single team this upcoming season. So let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about those predictions. I've been your host, David, and that's it.